Hi, it's Cleric again. Didn't really want to do this. This is not kind of thing I kind of tried to stay away from. If you watch my thank you video, I mentioned before, I tend to stay out of the drama for the most part. But I feel like this goes a little bit beyond drama. I feel this kind of goes in the category of needs to be addressed. Now I realize needs to be addressed. Who cares what I think? But in all honesty, since I do have the most minuscule of platforms, and so people do tend to look at it, especially in the Armored Core community, I thought it was worth sharing this information, especially since I've had some time to play the game. So, not that I'm the expert, because I'm not. I kind of just want people to understand where I'm coming from and where I think a lot of the misunderstandings when it comes to the hardlock situation. Yes, we're talking about hardlock, especially as it relates to the most recent PvP showcase. So, as you know, this last Friday was the Armored Core 6 showcase. We got to show a lot of PvP. I got to play a lot of PvP matches. We were there for a couple of days there at Bandai Namco headquarters. Got to do a bunch of testing, a bunch of different things. Figured a lot of stuff out. Looking forward to sharing some information with you. And I think the hardlock concern, the reason why I want to do this video is for one reason only. I know they say never to read the chat, but I was reading the chat during the live stream, and I was a little frustrated with all the hardlock easy mode, hardlock auto win, look at all the hardlock and all these explanations. And look, I understand hardlock's been around for a little while in Armored Core. 4 kind of introduced the idea of it, and a lot of people were kind of upset even by then. And I realize this looks even more extreme to you, and it is a little more extreme with hardlock mode on. That being said, I don't think it's going to ruin the game for both the what we'll call the previous or fans of the game up to this point, or for new fans coming in. Let me explain. So as you saw in the PvP itself, as the developers already said, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to break the hardlock. You probably saw a lot of people using hardlock and it being broken quite a few times. So I don't think that needs to be stressed. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. But what isn't obvious is what the developers mentioned. So when they were asked, the Japanese developers were asked a question during one of their interviews about what are the benefits or drawbacks of hardlock. The tooltip itself, which is what their answer was more or less, is the hardlock allows you to basically maintain lock on your target at the expense of losing some accuracy. Now, it doesn't give you any hard numbers. We tried to get a semblance of hard numbers during testing when we were playing the game to kind of get a feel for what it felt like. And that's what I'm going to kind of share with you today. So I feel like the accuracy thing is probably the I'd say the best argument for leaving it in the game and keeping it for the balance. And I'll kind of explain as we go. So I thought it would be best, as I spent some time going through all the PvP clips from the showcase, to kind of give you a feel for what I'm talking about. And I wanted to find clips that had similar builds or similar weapons in similar situations, with one using hardlock and one that wasn't using hardlock. So I managed to do that. So we're going to switch over to a video here. Let me pull this up. All right. So this is Fighting Cowboy. So Fighting Cowboy is running a tank here. He's running dual bazookas and dual back grenades. So this is the same build we're actually going to see later on. This time with that time with Ouroboros on a quad, but you get the same idea. So I want you to go into this realizing that we're looking specifically at the accuracy of these shots. So in this case, Fighting Cowboy is using the hardlock. We'll watch the clip a couple times so you can see what I'm talking about.
Shane wants to play. Shane wants to have a tank off. It looks like.
All right, so as you can see, at a range anywhere between like around 150 to 200 meters with the hardlock on a tank that wasn't really even trying to juke him really, you saw the shots kind of going all over the place. I want to go back to this one specifically that was just really wild. All right, let's go back here. So the tank literally is just moving sideways and forward, and the bazooka just completely whiffs. Look at that. Look at that shot. There he was, just quick boosting in a straight line, and it's not keeping track of it. So this is where shall we say, the detriment of hardlock kind of shows. We did a lot of testing as far as what kind of weapons, the arm specialization to a point, the distancing to a point, how much it affects your accuracy with your shots. To demonstrate this further, I have another clip here. I want to show it to you too. So, go back to this, please. All right, so this is Ouroboros. He's on a quad. He has dual back grenades, dual bazookas up here, and he's going to be taking on another quad, not a tank, something that moves a little bit faster. Let's see how this goes.
Got him.
Now, I realized the first shot was around the 100-meter mark, which made it a little easier. But notice now the Songbird, which is the name of the part that they're using in the back, the grenade launcher, it fires 2 rather slow projectiles that do a lot of explosive and area of effect damage. But they are even slower than bazooka shots. But notice even as he's boosting away from him and at a slight angle, because he's using soft lock here instead of hard lock, you notice how it tracks him even on the second shot he's going across.
Got him.
So you'll see both hits land there. And he's using soft lock. So we go back here just a little bit. You'll see the target, a little grainy on my screen here, is almost exactly at 200 meters for the second shot. So in testing, now granted, this is not definitive. I'm not saying this is absolute. But it depends on what your weapon specialization is on your arms. It depends on what kind of weapon you're using and the projectile, as far as like the accuracy goes, as far as how fast the shot moves and accuracy in general. This is kind of what we're finding. We're finding it's probably at minimum around a 25% accuracy drop using hard lock versus soft lock. And depending on the situation and what weapon you're using, it could be well over 33%, over a third. So it could lose over a third of its accuracy using hard lock versus soft lock. Now, I used solely soft lock during the entire showcase. That's all I ever used. And I was also on mouse and keyboard. Video coming on that pretty soon, by the way, as far as how it all looks and works. Spoiler, I love this on mouse and keyboard, and that's probably how I'm going to play this from now on. It's awesome to play with those controls. Okay, anyways, back to the topic. So here was my point. This is what I get back to here. It's not absolute. It's not this doom and gloom, a lot of doomers in the chat in general, about how this is going to ruin or end the game, or how it's an auto win mode. It definitely isn't. So those you Armored Core players, fans, people playing the game for a long time, it's not an auto win mode. It's not an easy mode. There is a time and a place for it where I think it is advantageous to use hard lock. But I think in general, getting to use soft lock is very helpful. So for you veteran players out there, let me tell you, when it came to the 3v3, you may notice Ouroboros' team were playing against them. They had all their tank builds, right? We call it the meme setup, but honestly, it was somewhat effective. What they were doing very smartly is that when someone was getting close to dead, they would cross paths. And since I was using purely soft lock, it would change the target to the person who was closer. So when I had someone either staggered or close to staggered, they cross in front of me, and it would take my aiming away from who I was trying to kill and do it into the new target, which was basically allowing their stagger bar to recover, or allowing their stagger bar to go from not quite max to go back down so they didn't get stunned. It was actually a very smart play. The second place where hard lock is very beneficial is blading. The way blade tracking works in this game, how it hones in the target you're locked onto, hard lock helps this a ton. Now granted, there is a melee specialization stat in this game, where it even says in the tooltip that the higher the stat, the more damage your melee weapons do. Now, we didn't do enough testing with melee weapons with hard lock to see if maybe that affects that number at all. Well, all indications don't think enough to really pay attention, but we have to do, like I said, further testing to really know for sure. So for you veterans out there, don't worry, the hard lock is not just an auto win. Now, it does kind of depend on your strategy, your weapons you're using, how close up you can be. So distance and shot types does matter, but it's not just an auto easy mode for the game. Now, for you new players out there, where Armored Core 6 is going to be your first game, do not be concerned that what I just said. All right. I think hard lock was put into the game for two reasons. One, for the new players to get introduced into the game. Look, I'm the first person to admit Armored Core can be a little daunting to new players. There's a lot to manage, maintain. You have your energy, you have your stagger bar, you have 4 different weapon buttons. You're looking at assault boost, quick boost, boost on, boost off, bunny hopping, part dropping, changing, using your extension or your install parts. Like there's so much to do. I understand. So I think Hardlock was more or less From Software's attempt to ease people into the game, to give them a chance to get a feel for the game. Now I said that's to get them the ease. And 2, they wanted it to be purposely detrimental to use Hardlock on, so once you feel comfortable with the controls, you feel eventually it's worth going to Softlock and see how much you can improve. It was designed to get you introduced and also designed to show you that there's a better way to play the game, I really do think. So for the new players out there, look, Hardlock does have its uses. It is pretty effective. Look, on bosses, man, you might need this sometimes. Some of these bosses are super zippy, and you're going to be really glad you have it because they just love to fly around and get right behind you where you can't see them. So in those cases, you'll be glad it's there. And trust me, it'll be there to help you until you get comfortable playing the game for the first time. And you honestly can kind of make yourself feel at home playing Armored Core. Now, look, I realize it's coming from me. You can like or respect my opinion or don't. Honestly, don't really care. But I do have some time with the game, and I feel like this was worth addressing to where people need to understand that Hardlock should not be such a controversial topic for this game, especially for so many people who haven't even played it yet. Now, look, that's not me diminishing your opinion. I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm just saying give the game a chance first before you decide if it's that bad or not. Now, you might get to play the game for quite a few hours after the game comes out, and you think my entire opinion is stupid. You know what? So be it. You disagree with me. You're more than welcome to disagree with me. But I feel like this conversation is kind of worth putting on pause, so to speak, until people have a chance to actually get their hands on the game and play it. But from personal experience, I feel like it's not a done deal one way or the other. I don't think it makes it easy, and I also don't think it's useless. I think it's a pretty good balance and good middle part in both sections, where I think both sides will be relatively happy with its existence in the game. Now, I realize there's going to be some who wish it didn't exist at all, and some people may wish, well, why they nerf it so much? Look, I think they were trying to placate both sides. I think that's a smart play where you don't alienate your old players and don't make it too daunting for your new players. So that's really it. That's as drama filled as I'm probably going to get with any topic just in general. Although maybe the tank topic might be a little bit, but even that, not really, no. So if you like what I said, if you want more of this kind of content, want more of my opinions or thoughts or takes on things that are going on Armored Core 6, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. I have a membership thing now. Join the memberships then below. I have a Discord now too. That feels weird. That's starting to blow up a little bit. It just started taking off. It's super bare bones. Fair warning, I am working on it. And I'm looking forward to getting to do some Armored Core stuff. So coming up soon should be videos on mouse and keyboard controls and also on the quote-unquote tank meta. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.